Here's another one that frustrates the kids, not distinguishing the difference between sins and mistakes. Okay? What's the difference between a sin and a mistake? A sin is you broke God's law. A mistake is you did something wrong, but it's not in the Bible. Okay? And this will be very difficult for you religious parents. You religious parents don't distinguish between sins and mistakes, and you discipline your kids for mistakes. And the reason you discipline your kids for mistakes is because they're annoying and frustrating. But just because you're annoyed and frustrated doesn't mean they've sinned. So I'll give you an example. Years ago, we were at Red Robin, and we're sitting there with our kids, and we go to Red Robin because we were broke and all you can eat fries with 5 kids. Like, we're going to win. We're going to win this economic deal here. So we're sitting at Red Robin, and next to us was a table with, a number of kids and a mom and a dad, but dad was on his phone ignoring his children. He wasn't present. He didn't practice the ministry of presence. And sometimes dad just being there and being intentional is a massive contribution to the well-being of the family. So he's on the phone, and the kids order their drinks, and he doesn't realize that the waitress is very young. She's obviously not a mother. She brings all the Dr. Peppers in large glasses that have ice and are sweating, and there's no lid on them. Okay? How many of you are dads? A 3-year-old with an extra large Dr. Pepper and no lid. That is inevitable. What's going to happen, right? So what do you think happens? The kid goes to pick it up, slips out, gets Dr. Pepper all over dad. Dad freaks out, disciplines the kid. My kids looked at me. They're like, that was a mistake, not a sin. I said, yeah, you're right. My one son, who's pretty observant, he said, if he's going to spank somebody, he should spank himself because he didn't get his kids cups with the lids on them. I was like, yeah, it's a good discipleship point for dad right there. So in that moment, if a kid's got little hands and they're picking up a wet glass and it spills, is that a sin? No, that's a mistake. But dad also made a mistake not paying attention and getting a cup with a lid on it. So in our house, my kids got pretty good at this. They'd be like, that was a mistake. So they pull that card out all the time. And sometimes even when they did, say, hit your brother, like, oh, that was a mistake. No, it was not, okay? But I try to differentiate sins and mistakes because if you discipline a child for a mistake, you're disciplining them for being human. And it's not a sin to be human, and human beings make mistakes. Sometimes your kids, they're gonna spill their milk. Yeah? They're gonna drop their dinner. They're gonna break a dish when they were doing the dishes, and it's a mistake, not a sin. Even if it's frustrating, you don't discipline them for that. Maybe you teach them, hey, next time, don't throw the plate in the sink like a Frisbee. Just a little discipleship point. But here's what religious parents do. They hammer on everything. And the kid doesn't understand the difference between adultery and putting the lid down because everything is dialed up to a volume of 10. It's like, no. Some things are just mistakes.
Hey, howdy, Pastor Mark here. Thanks for viewing the clip. And if you'd like the entire sermon, we've got it ready to go.